if I have a fear, if I'm fearful of something, maybe fear of lack, like we're going to run out, we're not going to have the resources to pay our bills or whatever, or fear of you know, being sick. I'm going to, you know, I've got a film shoot coming up. I don't want to get a cold. I don't want to be sick. That little fear gets in your head. Sometimes I eyeball it. Sometimes I think, hang on a minute, what's the worst case here? Like actually, and like I said, don't meditate on this, but just for a second, I think, hang on a minute, what's the worst that could happen? We might not be able to pay that bill this month. So then we'll just have to phone the people and tell them we'll pay it next month. I mean, it's like when you actually rationalise things, a lot of the time fear is irrational.
It is.
And fear will make you go places in your mind, and you're more scared of the fear than the actual thing happening. And if you look at what the actual thing is going to be that happens, I remember, this is a fun example, but when I was, I don't know, I think I was in high school, there was a big kid in school, and apparently I offended him somehow, and they said, he's gonna deck you after school. He's gonna
beat you up.
He's gonna beat you up after school, and all day at school. I was like, oh man, this guy's gonna. I mean, he's tougher than me. He's bigger than me.
You were imagining it, weren't you?
I was imagining it. I was letting that fear take
hold
of me.
You were feeling the pain before it even hit you.
And you know me, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
I'm not into fighting.
So true.
I'm like, I don't want to fight this guy. And I was like, I don't even know how I'd upset him. But anyway, the talk of the school, you know, it escalates, you know, in school.
Oh, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Everyone's like, he's gonna do this to you and do that to you, and I was like all scared. So eventually I was like, I went out, the bell went for the end of school. I went out there into the schoolyard, you know, the entrance of the school, and he come walking towards me, and one punch, he punched me once like that, and then he said, no, don't say that again, and walked off. And I was like, is that it?
It wasn't even that bad.
It really wasn't that bad. It didn't even hurt. I was like, that was it. I was in fear all day, and fear and trembling about what he was going to do to me. And I was like, that wasn't even that bad. And that was a silly example.
But isn't that what fear does?
I wasn't planning to share that example. I've always embarrassed myself.
Okay.
People are going to think now I'm some sort of wimp, you know, don't even fight back or anything. But it wasn't high school. It was elementary. I think it was kindergarten. It was like first grade. I was like 3 years old. That's how old I was.
Are you afraid of what the people think of you?
Now I'm afraid of people thinking I'm a wimp, you know. So anyway.
But isn't this how fear starts? It starts as a small seed, as a small thought, and then during the day,
it's bigger and bigger.
Because you are focused on it, whatever you focus on gets bigger. It's like we put a magnifying glass over that thought. It starts to get bigger and longer and more consequences, and before we know it, we've built it up to this big thing that's not even necessarily based on any truth at all. Right. Or it might have an element of truth, but we've taken it out of all perspective. We've wasted our time, we've wasted our energy, we've not been productive in other areas because we've allowed that thought to consume our thinking. And most of the time, these aren't even recognised anyway.
Right. So most of the time, a lot of the time, this fear is either irrational or it's not even. I like the false evidence appearing real.
That's an acronym that we use for fear: false evidence appearing real.